Hi, welcome to my channel. This video is the third case tutorial for my line connection add-on. I will show you how to make this kind of technical map connection in Blender with my line connection add-on. Okay, let's dive into it. First, import the world.svg file. This file can be downloaded from mapsvg.com. In the previous case tutorial, I have talked about how to download this free map file. The downloaded map is not one single curve object, so we select them all, press S and 20 to scale them 20 times, switch to top view, move them to the center of the world. Switch to the shading view. Go to the shader panel, enable use nodes, because I've done this case many times, so I know there is a problem with this map in India. The solution is to find the position where the problem starts to occur. These positions are usually a straight line. Press tab to enter edit mode. After observation, I find that there are some extra points here. Select and delete, then it's okay. Now select this collection, right-click to duplicate, and hide the duplicate collection. Then select the first one, right-click select objects, go to the curve property panel, hold down Alt key, set the extrude value to 0.001. Then right-click to convert them to mesh, and right-click again to join these meshes. Then show the copied collection, right-click select objects, move them along the z-axis. Here I have selected all objects, but the active object is still mesh, so I press the Ctrl key to click any curve object to set one curve as the active object. Hold down the Alt key, change the fill mode here to none, and keep only the contour lines. Then hold down the Alt key, set the bevel depth value of these lines to 0.00002. Switch to shading layout, select the map's mesh object, delete its material, create a new material, set its color to blue, then select any map line, delete the BSDF node, add an emission node. Set the color to a lighter blue. Create a new plane as the background. Assign it a slightly darker blue. Okay, go back to the default layout, switch to render mode, create a new area light, adjust its size. Switch to the asset brower. There are HUD resources I made for this case. You can download them from the link below the video and unzip them to this path, then add this path to asset libraries in the preference. I will use these elements to enrich the details of this scene. In my previous video, I have talked about how to make these HUD materials. Okay, drag the grid in first. Scale it up. Drag out a new shade editor. Find the grid scale node. Adjust the size of the grid, then add a HUD1 element. Here I take these elements out of the map collection, select HUD1, adjust the factor value of this mix node to lower the transparency of the HUD element. Because they are details of the background, we don't need them to be too prominent. Then duplicate it for a few more pieces. I also add a few HUD3 elements in the same way. I adjusted its transparency and then duplicate it to fill the background. Here I feel there is too much blue in the screen, so I change the grid to yellow. Enable ambient occlusion, bloom, and screen space reflection. Switch back to the timeline panel. Let's start making line connections. Shift and right-click anywhere on the map to set the cursor. Click the cone-shaped button here to create a locator. Scale it down. Switch to top view, duplicate and put them where you want. Select the created locators whose names are started with LC points. Note that the cone in the middle is bright yellow, and the other cones are orange, which means it is an activated object. If we execute the 1-to-n command, we will find that the controller is very large. First, hold down the Alt key to reduce the size of the controllers together, move them up, then decrease the radius of the line. Note that whenever you adjust many objects at the same time, you must hold down the Alt key. If you need fine-tuning, you also should hold down the Shift key. Click Get Ripples to select all ripple objects. Decrease their scale. Here I think the line is still a bit thin, so I selected the line controller again, adjusted the line radius to 0.002, and turned off dash on, set them to solid line. It's still a bit thick, so I finally set them to 0.0015. And to make the line smoother, I increased the number of line segments to 40. Then get ripples, and adjust the number of ripple object segments to 42. Okay, let's deal with the colors. Set the line to blue, adjust the brightness value of blue to 10. When this value is higher than 1, it will have a glow effect. Then set the color of ripple A to red, and adjust its brightness value to 10. Add a camera. Adjust the view. I am used to turning the surroundings black, which is to adjust the passepartout parameter to 1. Check depth of field. Set a focal point. Lower the f-stop value. Then adjust the overall brightness through exposure and gamma values in color management. Okay, actually that is all about how to make this effect. But I remember one more question. Here's a point that needs attention. If you want the subsequent connection lines created in this scene to also maintain the same parameters. For example, when you have more lines to make and don't want to adjust the parameters every time, you can select any line controller. Click the S key here, which means save, and it will save the parameters of this line. Then select a ripple object and also click the S key to save the parameters of the ripple object as well. If it is sometimes difficult to select, you can use the Get Lines and Get Ripples buttons here. And that's it for the whole animation. I hope this can help you. Thank you for watching.